Hi, I'm Rick Strozowski, and this is my presentation for assessment 4D, 1213 South Road, St Mary's. The client brief asked for a standalone building that includes a cafe / eatery on the ground floor and student accommodation on the upper level. This was open to negotiation, which I negotiated with the client, and we ended up splitting the proposed structure into two buildings, which you'll see. We'll go through. So we've got a Class 6 cafe building at the front here, located right near South Road, and a Class 3 student accommodation building set back a little bit. Here we have the demolition plan, which just goes through the site that is currently occupied by a block of flats and accommodation. There's also a carport garage, lockable garage I should say, at the back of the block. So the proposed new buildings add up to the same area approximately as the previous buildings that are to be knocked down. Also, asbestos has been identified in the eaves and floor coverings, so that's obviously something that's going to have to be removed by somebody licensed before any other demolition work is to take place. If you look in the safety file, I also have a file on the safe removal of asbestos. Here is the proposed site plan, so we get a bit more of an idea. This is South Road here. This is the current driveway, which we are going to keep. There's an existing stovey pole here that can't be moved, given it's on South Road, and it will just be too difficult. So that's the entry to the site. There's some car parking here, wheelchair access, car park, the Class 3 student accommodation at the back there, with a footpath around to the back where the actual entrance is. So it's a little bit more removed from the public, so a bit of privacy for students who are residing in the dorm. So this here is the ground floor of the cafe. See here is the dining, eating area. There's 2 bathrooms available with enough circulation space. That means they're wheelchair accessible. The floor space of the dining area will accommodate up to 29 guests. There's also a lift and a stairwell here that will get us to level 1. If you come up the stairs, there's a storage room for the cafe for all their perishable, non-perishable foods. There's a staff room here as well for the 4 members of staff. There's also 2 more toilets and an outdoor balcony area. So the reason I had the cafe at the front of the build, I guess it's beneficial for a business to be closer to a main road, more exposure to the public. However, I guess there is a negative. I'll just go to the ground floor. A negative being so close to South Road, but that's why I've put this precast wall here to protect from the noise and the pollution, the traffic on South Road. If you check the landscaping plan, which we'll get to, you'll see there's a few trees in front of it as well to also protect the building a bit more. At the back here as well, there's an area where we can put the commercial bins. And if you look at the site plan, as you enter through here, commercial bins stored through here. There's room for any collection trucks to reverse up, collect what they need and get out. The student accommodation, as I mentioned, the entry is at the rear of the building, so it's somewhat removed from the main road, so unless you're living there or know someone living there, it's not going to be very easy to get on and onto the site and get into the building. A bit more privacy. There's also a bike storage area near the entrance just for convenience. Each dorm room is 15 metres squared, as per BCA Volume 1. Each dorm also has a kitchenette, a desk, closed storage area, double bed. You'll notice the dorms facing north have a little bit smaller windows than the ones south. That's because the neighbouring property here has a big warehouse, Bob Burns blinds, so I've created the windows a little bit bigger to aid with light and ventilation in these ones. There is also a larger disability access toilet on the ground floor, but also on the upper floor, as well as a couple of extra toilets there, shower and laundry facilities. Again, there's a lift to get up to the next level. A large kitchen space that would accommodate the residents. So if we look here, this is level 1 of the student accommodation building. Again, the dorms up here are a little bit different. They have balconies. They still have the double bed, the desk, kitchenette and the clothes storage, but these do have balconies. They have sliding doors, which are obviously going to help with glass sliding doors, I should say. Obviously going to help with light and ventilation. Also awning windows being on the upper level, however they're behind the railing of the balcony. There's also a large sitting area. There are awning windows there as well to aid with ventilation, but again, it's on the second floor, so the awning windows that are above 1700 from finished floor open out further than the ones that are lower than that. They're restricted. They only open 125mm. Which you can see here. So these awning windows, are a restricted opening, whereas the ones at the top open more. And that aids with ventilation in the sitting area there. There's also external staircase, fire escape. Which you can see here. I didn't mention that all the doors and all the bathrooms and the toilets, they're all wide enough for wheelchair access in both buildings. With the lifts, it makes it a completely wheelchair accessible build. The materials that are being used for both buildings, the external envelope is 220mm precast sandwich concrete panels. So within them they have XPS foam, 70mm of it, which brings the R value of the walls to 2.8. There's also these aluminium colour-bond powder coated awnings on the lower levels, obviously a bit of sun and shading protection for those dorms. If I go to my site plan as well, you'll see for my sustainability of the design, I've got a submerged rainwater collection tank with a pump system that will feed the toilet systems, the laundry areas and the irrigation systems. Energy efficient principles that I've included in the design. I've got the communal areas like the sitting area and the student accommodation and the dining. They have large north facing windows, again to make use of the sun in the middle of the day. So natural light is another one, big large windows, which if you look at the schedule, if you have a bit of a closer look there, you'll see there's a lot more lighting than is required in the rooms. All the awning windows as well, double hung windows, create a lot of natural ventilation. The sliding doors on the upper level balcony, dorm rooms, just off the balconies. The insulation, as I mentioned, was R2.8 for the XPS foam in the external envelope of the building, and in the ceiling space it's R6 insulation bats. There is also solar panels. That's obviously going to help with the power consumption of the build. So these are just a few external renders. And as I mentioned earlier, that's the trees in front of the wall blocking on South Road. So if you just have a bit of a look through the proposal, I hope you like what you see, and I look forward to hearing your feedback. Thanks.